Hello, friends, and welcome to It's a Itsy Thing. And I'm not doing this episode of What's for Supper. I'm not going to do a What's for Supper tonight because we've got so much leftovers from the soups I've been making because we've been snowed in. So I'm not going to do that tonight, but I am working in the kitchen today, and so I thought I would invite you to come along with me. I am out of a few things here in the kitchen, and so today seemed like a very good day to get these things done. What I am making is my own Bisquick mix. I have made this for probably 25, maybe close to 30 years. I am able to control the ingredients that go in. It doesn't have a bunch of chemicals. I don't use shortening in it. I'm using lard instead. I try to stay away from shortening and processed oils as much as I possibly can. So I can control what is going in to my Bisquick. When you buy those things in the grocery store, so many times they have so many chemicals in it. And to say that I am completely chemical free, no, I'm not, but I try to watch it as closely as I possibly can. So I keep my own Bisquick on hand. If you don't want to use lard or beef tallow, and you don't want to use shortening either, you can use butter, but I would suggest if you're going to use butter to keep it in the Bisquick. Once you've got it made, keep it in the refrigerator or your freezer, um, just so that the butter wouldn't mold, because it possibly could if you left it out. So that is one thing I would probably suggest. So we're going to get started making our Bisquick mix. This is so easy, and I will show a video of my recipe here after I get finished. I have not figured out how to put the recipes in a screenshot type thing on the videos. I've got someone that hopefully can help me figure out how to do that. I'm not techie enough. I'm a little bit techie, but I have not figured that part out. So I've got to get that figured out. So in our Bisquick mix, first thing is 8 cups of flour, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, there's 8 cups of flour. Now I'm going to add, and I've already measured these things out just to save video time. I have 5 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and then I'm using, before I do that though, before I put my shortening in, I'm going to go ahead and just stir this around to get all those dry ingredients incorporated. Okay, now I've got 2 cups of lard is what I am using. And like I said, you use what you want to use. The recipe calls for 2 cups of shortening. I just don't like to use shortening. All right, now that I have all of that in my bowl, and you're going to need a pretty good sized bowl, I take my pastry cutter and I just cut all of that shortening or lard in my dry ingredients. And this just takes a little bit of time to do this. It's not hard at all. It tastes so much better. You've got the Bisquick at your fingertips. And if you do not have a box of Bisquick, you pretty much have all of these ingredients in your pantry, most likely. Now, if you're going to make biscuits with this homemade Bisquick, you're going to have 2 cups of mix and 2/3 cup of milk. That's how you make biscuits. If you want to do pancakes, it's 2 cups of mix, 2 eggs, and a cup of milk. You can also use this for waffles, which the pancake mix would probably be pretty much the same. You might have to alter your wet ingredients just a little bit, but for the most part it's going to be the same. You would just have to kind of see how your batter turns out, what you would need on that. So it's very simple. I keep this in my cookbook so that I always have it at my fingertips to make. However, I've made it so much throughout the years that I pretty much have it memorized. And so you can have homemade biscuits, homemade pancakes with your own mix. And it is all mixed together. I'm going to take my wooden spoon just to make sure I've gotten everything picked up from the bottom, and it looks like it is very well incorporated. I'm also going to make some peasant bread today, but I'll do that on a separate video. Okay, it's all mixed together very nicely. And I use one of these plastic containers. I've gotten these off of Amazon. This is how I have my spices and things stored, is in these plastic containers that everything is marked. And then I have one for my Bisquick as well. All of this will not go in here, so I have to use another smaller container to put the rest of it in. But that is pretty much it. That's how easy it is. Yesterday I made biscuits, and I used the last of my Bisquick mix, and I like to keep this made up all the time in case I get hankering for some biscuits or pancakes. Now, when Elijah comes and stays, we have to have pancakes. He loves pancakes. Just a little bit of Crisco or lard on there, so I'm going to get that off. And I cannot tell you how long it lasts. It lasts a long time. that's the best I know to tell you. It lasts a very long time. And how long that time is, I don't know, because I usually get it used up. I have never had it go bad, and I know I have had it up in my cabinet for months at a time. And so it would take it a very long time for it to go bad. And I just keep this scoop in my Bisquick mix the way I always have it there. And now it's going to go up in my cabinet. So there we go. We have Bisquick mix. So I hope you'll give it a try. It's easy. It's nice to have in your pantry at all times. You don't have a lot of the chemicals like you see in the purchased Bisquick mix. So give it a shot and let me know how it turns out. I will show a picture, and I'm going to do my best to show a picture of the recipe. That way you'll have it on hand. Another thing that you can do is on the back of it, you can type out the recipe if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette. I have a Silhouette Cameo, and that's how I make my labels on the front of my stuff, is by doing that. Or just type it out and tape your paper to the back of your container. You would have to take it off each time you washed your container. So anyway, give it a shot. And thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you on the next one.